Hello everyone, this is Rjuempire and I'm recording now from my YouTube channel. I was prompted to record this regarding the current situation we're experiencing right now. In my own opinion, I'm just obliged, being a part of the over 7 billion population in the world, that in my own uniqueness as a child of God and God's creation, and my uniqueness, having my own DNA and having my unique fingerprint, I believe each one of us are entitled to their own opinion and views about this current situation. I was listening to the Mass earlier. The Gospel was about Lazarus being brought back to life by Jesus. So, as I was reflecting, this current lockdown is similar to what Lazarus was experiencing when he was in the tomb for 4 days. So that 4 days was, for me, basically a lockdown period for Lazarus. If I compare that to the current situation, which we are in now, I'm in Kuwait right now, and we've been locked down from the world since March 12th. So basically, that's over 3 weeks now. So it's more than 4 days, but similar to what Lazarus was experiencing. But he was basically dead, physically dead. If we look at our lives, although we are living now, but some of us are just merely existing, and we live our daily lives based on daily routine that we know. So for me, as I reflect in this gospel, I was thinking that we are on this lockdown and quarantine on purpose, and nothing happens by accident. Everything happened for a reason for us. If we just take a step back and look at a higher perspective in our life, how can we apply this moving forward? And we understand that we are all in anguish, angry right now. We are basically at a grief. The whole world is a very unique situation. I could not remember or even read in the world's history that we are on this together. Like in the history of the world, several wars, killing each other, country by country. Now we're in a unique situation wherein all the people in the world are locked down. All the countries in the world are locked down, quarantined, and there are casualties. People are dying. Just like in a war, there's always casualties of war. But this one is very unique. The enemies are, the friends and enemies are helping each other. Like an example, the US, President Trump just signed yesterday the 2.2 trillion US dollar stimulus to help the country. And although there were so many debate between the Democrats and the Republicans, but they just set aside their differences after a week of tug of war. But finally, they made an agreement yesterday, and the president of the US signed it. So the bottom line is just to give the support that people need at this very moment. And I think the U.S. government made the first step, and the other countries might follow as well. Like my hometown country in the Philippines, they're already starting to give some relief goods and some cash as well. So, as what I understand, the financial support of the U.S. government will go for probably a few months, maybe 4 months. It depends on the number of members in the household. So my point is, everyone are on a standstill now at their homes or wherever they are, and we're asking so many questions. People are starting to be depressed, especially those who are losing their jobs or got laid off already. And yeah, the economy has been on a semi-recession right now. If you look at the news, it's like the 1929 depression, Great Depression all over again. But what does it mean for each one of us? We are fighting an invisible enemy, this virus, and the world, the governments of each country are working very hard to solve this pandemic. But we have to do our part. The best thing that we do now is stay at home to flatten the curve. But moving forward, what can we learn from this? For me, it's a choice. Are you gonna curl back to your old ways? And we will never be the same again. The world will never be the same again. After this, a few months from now, we're gonna move past this virus, this pandemic, and there will be vaccines that will be developed, and our immune system will get boosted, and we'll be more healthier. And that's one of the things we learn in this event, that we're gonna take good care more of our health, and we're gonna do more exercise, and everything spiritually we'll be more dedicated with our faith, and we'll have a more bond with our families, and financially as well. With this event, it's like an economic reset. People will learn how to spend wisely, and to save and invest. So this is an opportunity for all of us to, instead of just looking at the bad side of what's happening, take it as an opportunity to grow. That before a tree grows, it has to be buried in the ground. And depends on what plant or tree you're growing. It takes several years for the roots to get a foundation, and then once it grows from the ground, it takes years also to bear the fruit. Same for us also. We look back, take a step back, and look life at a higher perspective, and you will see that this event is just a part of a grand overall design by God. So for me, God is a great overall designer of our life. So as long as we maintain that strong faith, and that everything happens for a reason, and this one, we're inside the tunnel, and you always expect that there's always a light at the end of the tunnel, and then we're in a storm, and then there's always a rainbow after every storm. In the same way that Jesus' disciples were panicking during a storm, and Jesus was just very relaxed, quiet, and then the storm even listened to him. The same for us now. This is a great opportunity for every one of us, spiritually, emotionally, intellectually, physically, and financially. All aspects of our lives will be affected. And I'm grateful that I'm part of this event, and this might not happen again in our lifetime. I'm 43 right now, and I will look back to this event as one of the best things that ever happened in my life. And for every event or bad thing that would happen in our life, there's always a seed of equivalent benefit. One of the quotes of Napoleon Hill, one of my great mentors. So I hope I shared in my own little way something that might benefit you one way or another. And I'll be sharing my thoughts and ideas and wisdom in some other day, some other sessions again. And with that, I'm gonna sign off for now. This is Rjuempire of Rjuempire.